Don't you want it? 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 You lose your little mind. My dead lights.
Welcome to the Deadlights pod. I'm your host, Sam Johnston.
Hello, I'm Leslie, and we're bringing you your weekly dose of horror.
Weekly dose of horror.
It's fucking weekly, and you better like it.
And this week, we don't have a guest.
We don't.
Goodbye.
It's our guest is actually a little baby, so we couldn't.
Little baby.
We couldn't really write a contract for a baby.
Right. So, and technically you can't really see the baby. We never see the baby in this
No.
movie, actually, that we just watched. So you'll never see the baby that is the guest.
So disappointing.
Yeah.
What did we watch?
Rosemarys Baby from 1968, written and directed by Roman Polanski. A young couple trying for a baby move into an aging, ornate apartment building on Central Park West, but find themselves surrounded by peculiar neighbors.
They were the most annoying of neighbors of all time.
I mean, for this being a horror movie, I would say they were like a nightmare when it comes to neighbors, for sure.
Yeah.
They definitely sold the most annoying neighbors in the world.
It's awful. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's 2022 now, but you don't accept open food from somebody,
Sure.
you know?
Yeah. It was a lot of just trusting people just because they're your neighbors and, taking things at face value. And I mean, this movie definitely deals with gaslighting, heavy gaslighting the whole movie. And also definitely this kind of fear of having a child. I mean, this movie could be taken as one big metaphor for being totally scared of having a child and what could come of that. The horrors of being a parent.
Absolutely. Or your child actually being a demon.
Yeah. This is the most extreme case possible of parent nightmares.
Actually,
essentially
having a demon baby.
Yeah.
I mean, that is exactly something that I'm afraid of what if I'm not a good parent? Or, it's an exciting thing to have a child, but then there's all these responsibilities and then the finances and
the pain
of birthing a child. At least she didn't have to go through that,
Yeah, or at least remember it. Yeah.
Just.
And, I mean, this whole movie, I feel like what they did prey on is the fact that she was pregnant and the fact that she was going through a very somewhat traumatic experience, and they were then using that as an excuse to why she was getting all of these strange ideas in her head. They were able to fall back on the fact that she was pregnant to then get what they actually wanted from this pregnancy, which was the baby. Also, another general note, Mia Farrow was great in this movie.
She's a very, very good actress.
Incredible, and she stands out because obviously this movie is about her. She's Rosemary, and we're with her the whole time. But she, of all the characters in this movie, feels the most real and the most genuine, and you obviously feel for her because she's going through a lot of shit.
And the thing is, too, the style of the acting back in the day is very stylized, is very theatrical, and that's how it was. You didn't relay an emotion like you and I would in real life. You would act it out. So for her to be carrying on this pain for scenes and then for it to progress and get worse, I started feeling it. I started feeling nauseous, I really liked her performance.
She was great. She really was great.
And everybody else didn't need to be at her level, like you mentioned. I was getting a little upset because I was just ugh. It's a little bit hard to watch, even though the story was great. They were all characters. They all needed to be.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I guess we should just jump into it.
Yeah, all right.
From the top.
Make it drop. La, 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 la.
It starts with this like very creepy song.
This just la la la's of lullabies.
Lullabies over the cityscape.
Mhm.
And yeah, the lullabies were we only hear it in the beginning and the end, but
Sure.
we remembered it through the whole movie because it kind
Yeah.
of really sets up this creepiness, like subtle creepiness, you know, why we sometimes think kids lullabies are creepy, you know, like it was playing on that. It was very slow,
Mhm.
very high pitched.
It wasn't a particular song that I could recognize. It was just like kind of lullaing with the like orchestra in the back,
Mhm.
you know, the strings and stuff.
It was very interesting, and then we end with this really dark apartment building, and
It was dark.
it was super dark.
Yeah.
Well, even the hallways almost felt candlelit.
Mhm.
They were really dark brick. Felt castle-like. Felt like when you were in there, not many windows. It just felt very trapping.
Mhm.
And for her, throughout this movie, it was. I mean, she was there. She spends a lot of time in this
Lots.
apartment building, and in her apartment specifically. And this is the first time that we meet our main characters, which is Rosemary and her husband, Guy.
Yeah, they're very young.
Mhm.
They're very playful with each other, you
Yeah.
know.
Joking with each other,
Yeah.
teasing each other.
It seemed like they're very early into their relationship, even though they just got married.
Very
So.
honeymoon phase,
Mhm.
newlyweds. Oh my gosh, everything's gonna be great. He's an
actor.
he's a coming up kind of actor. She keeps like repeating his resume, like almost like she's said
see.
it so many times. Like she says the exact same thing whenever someone asks her about his job.
Mhm.
She's like, he's an actor. He's been in this play, in this play, in this commercial, and it's literally the exact same line that she
Mhm.
says, like on 3 separate occasions
Yeah,
to
she
people. She really, I think, loves him. you
Yeah,
know,
she
and-
believes in him.
Yeah.
And I think maybe perhaps the reason why she has this script is because, in a sense, you kind of have to prove yourself, especially as like the breadwinner of the household, for you to not have a job, a career, you know, per se.
She's
It's not like a doctor or whatever.
she's going to be the housewife, and I think um, she never seems like she's ever disappointed with that.
Mhm.
Which, like, yeah, like some people just want to be at home with the kids and just do that, and I think she's excited for that, and I think she
Yeah.
really wants to be a good wife for Guy, and she's saying that same script because she knows that's what's expected of her as the housewife,
Mm-hmm.
and she really wants to have a baby.
God
yeah, and
damn.
what we kind of learned from this first scene of the landlord of the castle apartment is that an old lady was there, but she recently died,
Mhm.
and she kind of has like herbs that she's been growing.
Yeah,
we kind of
like
are
in
moving through this
the
apartment.
middle of like the living room area space.
And apparently she was like good friends with the neighbors that are butting up against her, because also what the landlord says too is this was a castle, this building was a castle, but then they sectioned off rooms to make it an apartment
Mhm.
building, and so essentially you're sharing fake walls with your neighbors
Yeah.
that they've just built to separate these big rooms.
Which they indicated several times that they could hear their neighbors.
Yes.
Um,
Not much privacy. And I think that's an interesting idea too. This movie is a lot about the neighbors and the interaction between neighbors. They're not even really living separate of each other. Everyone's kind of just like living on top of each other with
Mhm.
these like very thin fake walls in between each other. So everyone's going to be in each other's business. That's a big part of this thing too, is like the other neighbors that are within this apartment are all 60 plus.
mhm.
Definitely, we don't see another couple that is their age living in this apartment at all, and so they're an older generation. They're the older generation, and then they're now bringing in this new younger couple, maybe to carry on what they have been doing too.
Yeah, they can't get pregnant. You know, they can't be birthing demon children for Satan.
Mhm.
Like, Yeah, but also like oh my god, what are the neighbors' names?
Okay, so the main neighbors that they share the
Mm-hmm.
wall with, and the main ones of the whole movie are Roman and Minnie.
Minnie.
Yes.
She was a character.
Yes.
You know.
Very just like, oh, New Yorker, hey, how you doing? Fast talking, la 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 la.
Or even from New Jersey.
Jersey, yeah. But just talk your ear off, like, just walks in the door once you, like, open it.
She's not going to wait for your approval. She has a plan.
Well, and even if you say no, she's going to ask, like, 3 more times until you continually refuse whatever she wants.
Manipulating.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, her colors were all bright. She had bright eyeshadow. Her hair was even pink.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was done up. Always loud pieces, which I enjoyed. But for, like, the tone of the movie and how, like, older people dress, it was kind of out there.
It was. They were, like, zany, kind of wacky dressing, a lot of patterns, a lot of pinks, a lot of yellows. And everyone really was, for the most part, their colors really popped. Like, all the clothes were just very, very bright.
I love her outfits. All very, like, mod kind of fashion.
Mm-hmm.
It was really, really fun to see.
Well, and
I enjoyed the fashion.
Now thinking about it, it's like Roman and Minnie's clothes, also very bright, but were more like the older generation would dress, suits, and she had like the old like hats sometimes too. But then Mia Farrow, also very bright colors, but hers were a little more like modern fashion, for the 60s.
Yeah. And like her color tended to change with her moods. So like she wore a lot of like bright yellows in the beginning, and then at one point she like her nightgown was blue, so it was like when she started getting really sick, so like she didn't change, and it was just like very blue. And then the night where they were planning on having the child, they were having a nice dinner indoors. She was wearing all red.
Yeah, super
and that's
red.
the only time we see her wearing that color.
Yes. So I guess it's probably like their first night there. I just want to mention the scene where they're like sitting on the floor eating.
Oh my god!
And then like they're just like eating, and then she's just like out of nowhere. What did she say? Let's make love.
Hey, let's make love.
Let's make love.
But she just like opened a can. They are not even finished eating.
Yeah, they like cheers, and then she's like, "Let's make love."
And then they start taking their clothes off. They like turned off the lamp.
Yeah, it's very businesslike, very like.
Yeah, because they take off every article of clothing.
Yeah.
And that scene takes its time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like I guess just like the color and the layout of the
frame.
Mm-hmm. There you go, the frame. The lighting was coming through and stuff, but like very business. They didn't talk. We had no music, and it was just like bodies on like hard floor.
Yeah. And they kiss, and then we cut away. I'm sure it wasn't very exciting sex that they had or whatever.
No, this guy is all business too.
He is. I mean, he's very, and she even talks about it multiple times. He's very wrapped up in what he's doing in himself.
Yeah, he's an actor. He's self-centered.
And she says that exactly. She's like, actors can be so self-centered, but always giving him an excuse for why he is the way that he is.
Well, he's a man and she's a woman.
Yeah. And he is really terrible, honestly. Like, really, like, dismissive of every single thing that she brings up. I mean, we learn, obviously, later that he's in on it the whole time.
Yeah.
But I feel like even before they are involved with the devil stuff, he seems very dismissive and controlling of her. Because she's so innocent and, like, so meek.
Yeah.
He probably feels like he can control her very easily.
Or
I think we're
what scene
down.
are we?
So they're kind of like settled in. They've done some like renovations on the place, and then she meets Terry in the laundry room.
Oh my God!
This
Yeah.
is when we kind of get. It's like it seems like the first person that she's met in the apartment building at all.
Yes.
And she like it's this like interesting moment where she looks over at her and she notices that she's looking at her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were an actress."
Yeah, I
that
thought you were
know."
some actress. And she's like, I get that all the time.
Yeah, and they kind of just like start having a conversation. Oh, who are you? Where do you live? And Terry reveals that she's been living with the old neighbors that they share the wall with, Minnie and Roman. And she was on the street for a while, and they took her in, and she's like, they saved my life, honestly.
What did she say she was? She was like selling her body.
She was
doing dope.
Doing heroin, yeah. Didn't sound good. Yeah, she was like,
No.
Honestly, they saved my life. If they wouldn't have taken me in,
I would have gone out. I would be dead or in jail if it wasn't for them. And I was like, well, damn. These are good people.
Wow, they sound great. Aww.
Yeah,
Aw, they sound awesome. After Rosemary meets her in the laundry room, we go to the bedroom with her and Guy again. And this is where we really establish we can hear them through the wall.
Right.
And so they're like, it sounds like Minnie and Roman are like arguing at first. Like, and they're kind of like make fun of them. But then it changes to them chanting. Oh, red baby.
Go D-man, go
Give
D-man.
it the D. Give her the D.
Oh no, that's awful.
Yeah, so because it was like that scene of them chanting, and then the next scene that we have is Rosemary and Guy showing back up to the apartment, and it's Terry dead. She like jumped.
The front, yeah, the
she jumped out of the window. This is actually the first time that we meet Minnie and Roman. They're walking up too, and it's dark at night, but they're like in light.
Yeah.
Their clothes are super bright, and they don't seem to have any shadows on them. And they're just walking towards the camera.
Oh my God, I didn't see that.
It was weird. It was almost like they had a spotlight on them.
Yeah. I see.
As they were walking up, what's going on here?
And they're like, oh no.
Yeah.
This is horrible.
Terry jumped. Oh. Yeah, and Minnie automatically was like, no, she would never do that. She was so full of life.
She was happy. She was a happy girl. And like...
Happy people don't jump.
Roman was like, well, she would get depressed like 3 times a week.
He's immediately like, oh, this makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she had a mental illness called depression.
Yeah. This seems like her.
Yeah, and Minnie was just like, no, never. How? Oh. I'm upset.
I'm really upset. Am I selling it enough?
Yeah.
Do you buy this?
You're an actor, right?
And this is the first time that they meet Rosemary and Guy, and they're introduced to each other during tragedy.
Herbs, because she's Rosemary. I just got it.
Rosemary is an herb. Interesting. A lot of herb talk.
Lots of it.
A lot of herb talk.
They never called her Rose. They never called her Mary.
True.
They always called her Rosemary.
They always said Rosemary.
Mm-hmm.
She was just something that they were using.
Absolutely.
In their spells.
Rosemary.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Really nice.
Rosemary's Baby.
Did you know that rosemary is an herb?
You know, because we just remembered.
I just got it.
Because we just got it. And I think that they were like, "Oh, you're the couple that's sharing the wall. We loved the old lady that lived there. It's tragic what happened to her. Who knows what happened to that lady?
Yeah,
I guess she just died.
I think she must have.
She was in on it.
She was in on it.
Yeah.
She was doing the herbs.
Yeah.
So like,
one herb lady replaced by a lady named by an herb.
Herb.
This movie is all about herbs. This movie is all about herbs, and we figured it out.
Yeah.
We broke the movie.
Rosemary bushes.
Plug? We finished. We're done.
We're finished,
We're
yeah.
done.
So you can find me at... They, showed up the next day. At least Minnie did. And she was like, "Oh my God, no, thank you so much. You were so helpful. I'm so happy that you just like
It's
said
that,
good
like,
things about me in front of the police."
It starts with that like intense keyhole shot of Minnie, like Rosemary looks through there, and then Minnie's face is just like in the keyhole, like so invasive.
Well, she's a fucking nosy ass neighbor.
And this is the first time that we see her come into Rosemary's apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And she's commenting on everything too. She's like, "Oh my God, I love what you did with the play. All white, wow, look what you did." And she's
look
walking
at these
through
couches.
She's going through, like, doesn't even care, doesn't even ask.
Yeah.
What happens in this scene is she's a very nosy neighbor around the whole apartment, but then she ends up inviting Rosemary and Guy to their apartment for dinner. Yeah. And this is where I was like thinking about her apartment's decor, super white, all that stuff. We walk into their apartment, so dark. All that like dark like brick, and again feels very candle-like, still living in this like castle that this building once was. But you know, they're super welcoming old people. I mean, yes, they're kind of wacky and she's kind of strange, but they're super welcoming. They have vodka blushes. Vodka blushes all around.
He's like, I overfilled them.
And he starts talking, "Oh, I learned a vodka blush from when I was in Australia." And then he's like, "I'm a well-traveled man. Ask me a place. Name a place. Name a place I've been there. I'll tell you about it."
That shit was so funny.
I'll tell you, I've been there.
He said it like 4 times.
Name a place.
Name a place. I've been there. I've been there. I've been to Rome. I've been to Juneau. I've been to Australia.
Everywhere.
I've been everywhere. I've been everywhere.
I'm a well-traveled guy.
Please believe me. I've been everywhere.
Name a place.
Name a place.
And then when they do name a place, it's like, I don't know, something Alaska. Oh, good place. I've been there. It's a good place.
Oh my God.
Okay.
It was very, very funny.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're weird old people, kind of wacky. Rosemary and Guy are kind of indulging them in their, like, wackiness or whatever.
Because they're never going to do it again.
Yeah,
that was their agreement.
Yeah. They're like, let's just get this over with so they can stop bugging us about having dinner, whatever. They're around the dinner table. There's some Pope talk. Because I think what's going on in the background is that the Pope is making his tour around America or something, visiting different places.
Which is strange, because if he's touring, there is a reason why they needed to have to make the baby at a very specific date.
I think too.
So, from
what I remember about, because the Pope does do tours, he's done that before, and I think too, it's like,
have you gotten tickets?
Oh hell yeah, front row.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm sorry, Pete.
Sorry, Pope.
I'm sorry, Pope Daddy. But I think the ultimate goal of the Pope touring would be to spread Christianity.
Yeah.
To spread the word.
Spread the light.
The good book, you know? And knowing what we know about these people now, these are devil worshippers. They obviously don't want the word of Christianity to spread.
Yeah. And
so I think that they're also looking at that as a threat to them and to their religion, and to their Lord, Dark Lord. And so I think you're right. Like, we got to act now.
Yeah. We got to have this baby now.
We got to do things because we don't want too many good people running around.
Because they're in Europe, right?
No, they're New York.
They're New York?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, this building that she's in for most of the time looks like a fucking Gothic castle.
Yeah.
So it does seem very European.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have like the women in the kitchen cleaning up, and the men are out in the study having a smoke. That, I think, is the moment that we get Guy.
I think you're right.
Probably Roman is like, let me tell you something right now.
How famous do you want to be?
Yeah.
Oh, because at the dinner table, they kept talking about the plays, the commercials he was in. And I thought Roman was just pulling his leg. He didn't know who he was. He just kind of was like, oh, yeah, in that play that when you did this thing, very generic. And then Guy would finish off.
Yes.
And then he was like, yeah, that one. You were so authentic.
Yep.
I can see you going places.
He was like really sucking his dick.
Oh, yeah.
I wrote down sucking his dick.
Suck it, suck it.
But you're right. He was definitely, I mean, and playing on an actor's self-centeredness of like, they're going to finish that because they think whatever they did is genius. And he knew that. And he was able to reel him in. And I think you're right. Like, probably what they were talking about out there was his career. And you know, probably Guy probably shared that this other guy got this part that he was really, really close. Like,
well, yeah,
because in the scene before, that's what happened, and he was upset about that. And then Roman probably was like, "Well, you know, it's not the end of the world. There's ways to still get that part." And
he's like, "No, I have something that can make you famous."
Mm-hmm. But then it's like this weird switch up of like, Guy is making fun of them, and then he's like, "Their stories were kind of interesting, though. I'm gonna go over there tomorrow night to hear some more." She's like, "What?
What?
You're gonna go back?"
You just said that we weren't gonna get attached.
Yeah, but she's like, "Okay, fine, but that's kind of weird." Mm-hmm. And then she starts like thinking more about it.
Yep.
Too, she starts getting more suspicious.
Well, she also was like, he was like, "You don't have to come if you don't want to. You can stay here." And she was like, "You know what? Yeah, I do. I do want to stay here."
Mm-hmm. And she did.
She did.
And I think that was the scene when Minnie and the other neighbor, who I can't remember her name.
I want to say Lori or Larry.
I hope it's Larry.
I thought it was Larry. I put Larry all over the place. Larry and neighbor, come over.
Larry and neighbor, wait, did I?
They instantly start fucking taking... first of all, they invited themselves. Mm-hmm. Even though Rosemary turned on the music, got a book, and wanted to read.
Relaxing night.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Looks so comfortable. And then...
Rosemary!
Rosemary's
me and Larry.
And then they like...
It's me, Larry. Hey, it's me, Larry.
Rocking the baby super much.
Larry's though.
Back off! My baby.
Yeah.
They start crocheting.
Yeah. They just sit down there like gossiping and like knitting.
Not involving Rosemary at all.
Nope. And she just turns off the music and is like, well, that's the end of that relaxing night.
Yep.
Lasts about 5 seconds. And then it ends with Minnie giving her a present from her and Roman. It's from me and Roman. For good luck. It's the necklace with
and she was just like, oh my God.
I think that's probably the first time that they say the tannis root. She's like, what's in there?
Oh, yeah.
It's tannis root. It's for good luck.
It's for good luck. Trust me.
You'll get used to the smell.
Ugh. I wouldn't want to wear something around my neck that makes me smell like shit.
Well, and it was, what we find out later, it's fungus. So that means it's like kind of decaying and kind of rotting in there. So it's like the smell of death that she's just carrying around on her.
What if it like brings the devil to her, like knowing that she's the one that they've chosen?
And I wondered what the purpose of the tannis root was, because they don't really explain it at all. I mean, we know it's a witchcrafty thing, but maybe it is that. Maybe it's like kind of this like beacon, because because they had Terry wear it before, and they were trying to obviously use her for something, and now they're having Rosemary wear it, and that we know what they want to use her for. Mm-hmm. So yeah, maybe it's like this. It's the devil's favorite perfume.
Yeah,
I love it on you, baby.
I like
it on you.
Shit.
I like poop. I'm into scat. Yeah. Guy comes home, and that actor. Or no, he gets a phone call.
He gets a phone call as soon as he comes in, though.
Yeah.
Ring. Hello.
Wow, that's terrible.
Wow.
Whoa, how tragic. When do I start?
Do I start tomorrow?
Yeah, so how long do I start?
It sucks for me to get it this way. Are you sure?
Darn. But yeah, we learned that the actor that was supposed to play the part went blind. He woke up blind.
He woke up blind and nobody knows. And I think this is when we definitely have the switch, because I think he starts realizing, oh shit, this is true.
Yep. That's when he realizes. Yeah, because his reaction is like, oh, that's terrible. But I think he's more focused on like, holy shit, this is real.
This is real.
Like, they actually do have powers. Like,
He was like, I'm just going to do this out of like last resort kind of shit. Now he's fucking blind.
Now he's fucking blind. Yeah, and I think probably for Guy, he obviously wanted it to be true because he wants fame and fortune, but he wasn't buying fully into it. This is a huge confirmation for him.
Oh, she is seen going to Hutch's, her landlord's.
Yes, Hutch we haven't really talked about yet, but he is pretty much her
dude.
Very sweet man. One of the only people that she could trust through this whole movie. And he's, I think, just their old landlord from the apartment that they moved from. And, I mean, he cooks them dinner. He is obviously very concerned about Rosemary. And she feels like he's one of the only people that she can trust, too. And she goes to him because she's lonely.
She's lonely. Her husband is no longer there. And if he is there, he's just doing the acting stuff.
Yeah.
Not even looking at her at all.
She kept saying he's so preoccupied. He's so preoccupied. He's so preoccupied. She says it like 3 times in a row. And she's like getting hysterical almost, of like really like almost having a panic attack, it seems like. She just wants him back again, but he's getting wrapped up in his shit.
It seemed, the way that she was presenting it and the way she was feeling about it, kind of seemed like he was even in a trance of just obsession over the fact that he finally is doing what he wants. Like, because what? He was only in that one Yamaha motorcycle commercial, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, and probably in this time too, he's doing the play, but he's also probably being pulled in by Roman and Minnie too. We never see this, but for us to believe that he would allow them to pretty much impregnate her with the devil's child, they have to be kind of reeling him in more. I mean, he buys that they can do magic, but I think they need to groom him more to agree to offer up Rosemary as the vessel for a devil child. So probably he's spending time there too, getting more information, becoming more part of the cult and all that kind of stuff.
Because he's rarely there.
Very rarely there. And we assume that he's just off acting or whatever. But he could very well be over next door.
Also, acting jobs aren't necessarily 9 to 5. Especially for months. Unless you're like in an ensemble. But like, I thought that he was going over to the neighbors periodically.
I think he was
especially because he knew what the like plans were, essentially.
Oh, for sure. He was all part of it. He was part of every moment, for sure, once he was in. And so yeah, he's like really gone. But he has this great move where right after the scene where she's complaining about how he's so distant, she shows up, the apartment's full of roses, and he's like, look, babe, I know I've been preoccupied. I know I've been busy. I've been a total douche. And he is saying exactly what she's thinking to then be able to switch it back on her and be like, let's have a baby.
Then she's like, he's like, let's have a baby because you essentially are lonely and I'm never here. And you deserve to have this baby. And she's like, oh my God, you mean it? Wow.
Yes.
And then he writes it on the damn calendar.
Yeah, he circles the dates where
6
she's
and
ovulating
7 or something.
Most. Like, those are the dates that are like best for her.
I mean, I guess.
She's most fertile.
Yeah. And he's like, there.
I figured it out.
Right there. 6 and 7.
Hell yeah. That looks like 2 boobs. Boobies. He's ready to roll.
He is. He was like, let's write this down. We're having a baby.
We're having the baby.
And she doesn't think about it anymore. They're having their lovely dinner, candlelit, kind of, and she's like, "Oh no, oh my God, we already know who it is."
We do.
But they go and open it.
I know. You were like, you don't have to answer the door.
You don't have to answer the door.
And you're right, you don't.
And you don't have to let anybody in.
No.
But she wasn't gonna come in. She just gave them chocolate mousse,
which looked freaking good.
So good.
It looks so good. It looks really, really good.
It looks so yummy.
Yeah.
I've never had like a chocolate mousse type of thing.
I've never had it like that. I've had like, not chocolate pudding, but yeah, it's like lighter than pudding. It's like more whipped or something. It's really, it's good.
It's easy to eat.
Easy to eat. Like. Yeah, and they were like, once they took the first bite, both of them were like, fuck yeah.
Yummy. Well, first, Rosemary was like, this kind of tastes chalky.
Yeah, it's like there's a weird chalky undertaste. And he's gonna be like, no, there's not. No. What are you talking about? There's always something.
Yeah, there's always something. She slaved away in the kitchen to make you this.
And then she's like, okay, well, if it's going to be such a thing, I'll finish it. And he's like, oh, God, why does it always have to be a thing with you? Or something.
Something so fucking shitty.
Yeah. It's just like, dude, like, if she doesn't want to finish it, like...
And she's like, okay, fine. I'm going to eat it so it doesn't turn into a thing for later.
Yeah, she was just diffusing the situation. She didn't want to really fight. I mean, this is their sex night.
Yeah.
Let's just get to the sex.
Let's not fight.
Let's not fight. And can you please go flip over the record? Just real quick. He's over there and she gets rid of the rest of the mousse in her napkin. And so she doesn't fully finish it.
That's scary though. The amount of bites that she had was enough to knock her out.
Yes. Because yeah, what ends up happening is she's getting a little woozy, man.
And just dizzy. Are you okay? No.
And then what does he do? I mean, he's like, someone can't be mixing cocktails and wine anymore. It's immediately her fault again.
Absolutely. Her. Why wouldn't it be not her fault?
It's your fault. Let's get you to bed.
Ugh.
And he puts her to bed, and she's like, really just like, almost out of it, and she says, but we have to make the baby. And he's like, we'll do it tomorrow night. It'll be fine. And then we go into a wild dream / real life sequence, which was very cool again. She's on a boat. Like the first shot is like her bed floating in water, which was really cool.
Which I mean, not that I like water, big body of water. Big body of water. But just kind of having just like a little soothing, kind of just like gentle.
It was nice. I mean, the shot was like kind of like rocking. It was back and forth too, like a baby. And then it goes into like very weird. Like suddenly we're on a boat. There's a boat party, and then
what did I put it?
I tried to write down here. Wait, it's on the next page. Boat party, landlord captain, I think, or the. Oh no!
Oh, there you
are. She was like, "Why can't Hutch come?" And the captain is like, "Only Christians. Sorry, don't make the rules." Something like that. And then I think we go back into reality with Guy undressing her. I'm just trying to make you feel more comfortable.
She's like, "But why? I'm comfortable already." I'm comfortable.
And then she's naked in bed, and suddenly we're in the Vatican.
Oh, also, a ring is taken off her finger.
Oh, right. Because the devil don't like married women. That's where he draws the line.
Yeah, he's like,
no adultery.
I can't fuck her until you get rid of that ring.
I can't see that.
I don't want to know that she's taken.
Even though her husband's standing right there in the corner. Keep chanting.
Do it. Do it. I want to be famous.
Yeah, cuckold me. Let's do it. And then so then she's naked in the Vatican, and we're just like seeing all the like the Sistine Chapel ending with like fucking Adam and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And then it goes to probably my favorite scene with this man saying, Typhoon!
Getting wet, lady.
Yep.
Typhoon.
Typhoon!
Bet you'll be safe down below.
What?
Okay. And she's naked walking down the stairs into this boat. And it's like
She passes furnaces.
it's like this like furnace or like burning building or something going on.
Yeah,
right
that
there.
burning building. At first I thought it was that, but I thought it was furnaces. But then it would be cool if
We saw it later.
Yeah,
We did see it later.
it looked very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Yeah, we see that shit going on, and then ends up at the bed in this like really dark room, and I wrote bed in hell.
Yeah.
Because then fucking a group of old naked people come up.
Everybody naked.
Everybody's naked, all the old peoples. And I'm like, why? Why?
Yep.
Why?
You don't see a lot of the guys.
No, you don't see them.
Bodies.
You don't see them down low, which I'm not going to complain.
They're all women.
That was gross enough for me.
I mean, yeah, because they're all there just waiting.
Ooh.
Kind of very Midsummer.
It's very Midsummer. It reminded me a lot of Hereditary too. Of like in the end with all the old like the people that are just
Oh my god,
around
yeah.
the house. Like
I just
naked.
remembered that scene. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like in dark corners, so you can see that they're naked, but you can't see everything. It's just like really.
It's just you're vulnerable, you know, like this is everybody's sex scene. Sex.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
They're all chanting. They're
La
like,
la la la.
they're chanting the lullabies, and then they're like painting her body too,
With like blood, it seems like.
looks like blood. Terry, bye Terry.
Oh boy, what if it was?
Could have been. And then we see fucking.
I don't need it.
We see Minnie and Guy standing there, and he's like,
Yeah.
she's waking up. She knows what's happening. And she's like, if she ate all the mousse, then she'll be out for days. Keep chanting.
It was your job for her to eat everything.
Mm-hmm. And
So
you fucked up, Guy.
you fucked up because she's not knocked out.
Somewhat. Yeah, like she even says at one moment, she's like, this isn't a dream. This is
This
real.
is real.
This is real.
Yeah.
She's got like these fucking first like human hands like going down her body, but then they turn into like claw black hairy hands like going down her body too. And you see the fucking crazy
Red eyes. They kind of have like slits on them too.
cat like eyes and creepy. And then the Pope shows up at the end, and she's like being raped by the devil.
Yeah.
And the Pope comes to the bedside and is like, "This is the last stop, my dear." Or I came as soon as I heard what was happening. And she's like, "Do you forgive me, Father?" And he's like, "Yes, my child." And then puts out his ring, and it's the fucking like necklace thing that's on his ring that she has him kiss.
Oh.
So it's not the real Pope. That's some devil work shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. She wakes up the next day,
Yeah.
and that's when Guy's like, "You can't be mixing. You
Yeah.
You didn't fall asleep. You passed out."
And she's like, "Well, what happened?" And then she like sees her like claw marks, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And he's like, "Don't worry, I already trimmed them."
Yeah, and that's when he reveals that he had sex with her even though she was passed out. And he says the grossest line in the whole movie,
I think it's the grossest line I've heard so far.
Jokingly and while kind of giggling, says, "Huh, it was like a necrophilia experience for me."
Yeah. It was fun.
It was
It was
fun.
fun.
It was kind of fun. Like, and she's upset.
She's like,
rightly so.
you don't think to have like waited until like 2 days? Like, you don't think to have waited until like 2 days? Like, you don't think to have waited until like 2 days? Like, you don't think to have waited until like 2 days? Like, you don't think to have waited until like 2 days? Like, you don't think to have waited until like 2 days? Like, you don't think to have waited until like 2 days? Like, you don't think to have waited until like 2 days? Like, you don't think to have waited until like 2 days? Like, you don't think to have waited until like 2 days? Like, you don't think to have waited until like 2 days? Like, you don't think to have waited until like 2 days? Like, you don't think to have waited until like 2 days? Like, you don't think to have waited until like 2 days? Like, you don't think to have waited until like 2 days? Like, you don't think to have waited until like 2 days? Like, you don't think to have waited until like 2 days? Like, you don't think to have waited until like 2 days? Like, you don't think to have waited until like I don't know. I wasn't
He's like,
passed out.
I just didn't want to miss the chance. I just didn't
It
want to
was
miss the chance.
baby making night.
Yeah. And she's like, I just wish you would have told me, or I wish you would have, waited. We could have waited another month or something.
She's like, it wasn't pressing, so why did you have to fucking rape me?
Like, I think he kind of goes back to like, I thought you, like, that's what you wanted. I thought you wanted to have a baby. Spin around.
Gross.
Oh man, that was bad.
Oh my God, it was so bad.
And this, yeah, I mean, she's already been gaslit a good amount through this movie, but this is really when it just ramps up, and everyone is just gaslighting her. Because, I mean, she's getting anxious to find out if she's pregnant or not, so she does go to the doctor, and we quickly find out, preggo. We're good. We're in. And she's got like really, he tells her on the phone, and she has like a really sweet moment of she's like hugging the phone. She's like, yeah, very cute.
Yeah.
She's very excited to be pregnant. But the first part of the pregnancy is very rough. This is when they start. She calls it like this like sharp pain that's like in her stomach, and it's like unrelenting. Every scene that we see, it getting worse and worse.
And she at first tries to tell Guy like, hey, I have a pain, and he's like, you're crazy. So then afterwards, she doesn't show him that she's in pain, even though she looks awful. She looks awful.
In this first part of the like really painful part of the pregnancy, she's also being fed these like mixed herb drinks, I think that they keep talking about. Her doctor, who's a friend of her old neighbors.
Because they immediately came in and they're like, you need this doctor. He's the best.
Yes. They call the doctor immediately, and they're like, tomorrow at 11? They set her up right away with that.
Right away. Because she was supposed to get another blood work done. They're like, congratulations, you are pregnant, but also, can we run a second blood work? And she's like, what does it mean? Am I pregnant? And they're like, no, yeah, you're pregnant. We just like, I don't know, sugar levels or something.
Yeah.
And she's like, sugar levels. And that was in her mind for a little bit. You can kind of tell, just like, blood work done?
Like, why would they want more blood?
Yeah.
That's concerning.
Well, yeah. And she tries to tell, I think, Guy at some point. And he was like, oh.
And I would assume it's because the doctor did see something that was wrong, that was off with it, and he wanted to investigate it more.
Yes.
But he never got those blood samples because old couple swoops in and like, no, you're going to this doctor.
Yep. Immediately. Like the next day.
And the old doctor is old, and he's just prescribed these herb drinks that Minnie makes up every day. It's like the same time every day. She's drinking it. Minnie's over a lot now, very much getting involved in their life.
Very attentive.
And you're also getting the sense, too, that Rosemary isn't leaving this apartment building very much anymore. She's in this
They're telling
castle.
her not to.
Yeah, the doctor's telling her not to.
Yeah. The doctor also told her no books, no friends, no pills.
Yes.
Because they're like, your friends are going to just be telling you about their experiences. This is your experience, and the books are just going to fill your head with stuff and make you freak out.
Yep.
What?
Immediately giving...
This is a cult.
Yes, and they're doing a perfect job of cutting her off from society. They can control her environment because they're living literally right next to each other, and then they're putting these things in her head early for her to then go back on of like, well, you're right, like, no two pregnancies are the same. What if this is just unique to me? Like, they're giving her reasonable doubts of why she shouldn't trust anyone else except them. Very, very well. I mean, you have a doctor. You have a doctor who's telling you this.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you trust a doctor? And then within this time, too, we get the neighbor. Or, I'm sorry, Hutch. Hutch comes to visit, and he, again, is like, you look terrible. You look really
and she's
bad.
like, oh my God, stop.
The hair.
It'll grow. Scott Pilgrim. Oh, Shaggy. Anyways, sorry.
That's for another day. Guy comes in and Hutch gets out there pretty quickly. And it's a weird scene because Guy wasn't expected back. He was supposed to be on set. And later, we have this kind of reveal of Rosemary kind of putting everything together where he still had his makeup on. And she's like, Roman called him to get him back here to steal Hutch's glove for some sort of ceremony or whatever. Because right before Hutch leaves, he's like, I gotta go. He puts his coat on. He's like, I'm missing my glove. And he's like, I must have left it somewhere else. And then leaves. And then what happens next is he goes in a fucking coma.
Yeah. He gets sick.
And he calls her later that night. And he's like, I need to meet up with you. Found some shit out, but I can't tell you over the phone. Let's meet up tomorrow. We knew that was never going to happen.
Absolutely.
No way. Now a devil plague going on around here.
No, a devil's plague. The Pope plague. Yeah. I mean, we knew immediately.
Poor guy.
The actor got blind, so, like, what's going to happen to Hutch?
Yeah.
So I can put him in a coma for 3 months?
Yeah. Months.
Yeah.
He was in a coma for a while.
Yeah.
Again, didn't hurt him. Didn't kill him.
Nope.
But horribly incapacitated him for a very long time.
And I mean, he could still talk if he went blind, you know? So they needed to made sure that he just didn't walk, he didn't talk.
She tells him that she wants to go get a second opinion from another doctor, and he didn't want to hear that at all.
No.
He's like, those bitches, those bitch friends of yours got in your head.
Also, like, he calls them stupid.
Yeah.
They're like, your stupid bitch friends. And I was like, yo, they have great fashion. They can't be stupid.
Yeah. Come on, dude. Did you see what they were wearing?
Did you see what they were wearing?
Yo, what the hell,
damn.
And friends are bitches. Oh, and then he has this other thing. Yeah, now I wrote this down because I was like, fuck you. And he's like, your friends are bitches. They put these ideas in your head, and it would be unfair to the doctor.
It would be unfair for the doctor. And what is the doctor going to think? It would be so unfair for him.
And she's like, unfair for the doctor? This is the first moment I feel like she like really stands up to him. Mm-hmm. Like, what about me? I'm the pregnant one.
I'm the one that's miserable. Imagine having, I'm pretty sure there's unfortunately plenty of people out there that have an illness that is not seen, so it is internal, always in pain, and especially if you're left alone, and that is it. That is the only thing that you are experiencing, because you're not going out, so you're just waddling for hours.
She's just
days and months.
She's just sitting in that apartment, just in pain.
She's going crazy.
Yeah, and he doesn't give a fuck.
No, absolutely.
He cares about what the doctor is gonna think. The fuck? And she's like, that's the final straw for her. She's like, so pissed. She's like, I'm going on Monday. And she's like getting more and more upset. And then suddenly, wait, the pain's gone. She's like, it's alive. It's alive. The pain is suddenly gone. It's moving. It's there. And she's like crying, but also laughing at the same time. Finally realizing that it is alive. She's got a baby alive inside of her. And also the first time that the pain has gone away. In 5 months, probably. And she just sits she's so relieved. Just sits on the couch and is just like, you're there, Jack. Andy or Jenny. And then we go to another happy montage. It's like she
has color back on her face. She's wearing bright colors again.
They're setting up the nursery. The old people are back, giving her the drink again.
And the little cakes.
She's eating the cake. She's taking the smoothie, and things are happy. And she's distracted again by the life within this apartment complex. And that kind of ends with her getting the news that Hutch died. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't go visit him. I completely forgot that he was in a coma. She just got so wrapped up in this dreamy
So like
world
3 months
again.
go by. So she's probably by now 7 months pregnant.
And she's really showing
Mm-hmm.
at this point. She's like very pregnant. And we're getting to the point of like the final 3 days, or it's like next week.
Yeah,
she's
next
like due.
week.
She's still like somewhat suspicious though, because she goes out and gets her own books.
Yeah, she throws away the necklace.
Mm-hmm.
Down a drain.
Yep.
So it's never found again.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah.
And she doesn't want to drink she's not drinking the smoothies anymore. Gets rid of the necklace. Finds her own books. She's starting to do research. She finds out about the devil's pepper, which is the tannis that she's been wearing around.
That's some stinky ass pepper.
It's some stanky ass pepper.
I really want that pepper. I'm really into spices.
Well, it smells like death, so
Yeah, just sprinkle it over your soup.
spicy
Spicy
death. Yummy. And then she finds more information about like the occult could use witchcraft to make someone go blind or become paralyzed, or the things that have been happening in this movie so far.
All explained. And all you need is just something of the person that you're trying to bewitch.
Yep. That's when she puts together that holy shit, Hutch's glove was taken. And they use that against him. She finds out that Guy switched his necktie with the actor that ended up going blind. So he had something of his in his possession. All the pieces are falling together.
She calls him.
Yeah.
And was like, hey, just want to know how you doing. Also, did he take your tie? And he was like, no, we traded it. And she was like, what?
What?
Yep. And after that, she don't trust him.
She's like, I can't believe he's part of it too. She
was very shaken up.
Extremely shaken up. And her last Hail Mary is to go to the other doctor that her friends have been suggesting this whole time. And Dr. Hill. And she goes and she unloads everything about him. I mean, she's talking about them using witchcraft, this conspiracy against her and her baby. They want her baby. They're going to use her baby for blood. And she even says, like, she's like, I know I sound insane, but there's conspiracies against people, right? Like, this can really happen. And the doctor's like, that's what it looks like.
He's like, why don't you stay here?
Yeah. No, can I keep these books? I need to look at this. But here, come back to my office and we can get you set up with a bed at Mount Sinai later tonight to have your baby in a hospital.
And she was just like very delighted.
She's like, thank God bless Dr. Hill. God bless him.
Yeah, she freaking did that twice. And I was like, just wear a nun thing. But like, she really was, it looked like she had something off her shoulders.
Yes.
Like, just all this weight was off her shoulders. And that she was able to have another dream.
It was like this nice, like her holding her beautiful baby, and everyone's around her, super happy, super bright. She's very happy. Guy's nowhere to be found. So it's got to be a happy dream. And yeah, it's just like, I think you're right. Like, she has that moment of just like, my baby's going to be okay. I'm going to be okay.
Oh, because she does talk to the baby. She was like, everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then calls him all the names that she is thinking about.
Yeah. And God bless Dr. Hill, because he brings in old man doctor. He's back.
And Guy. Guy just looks so fucking pathetic in the background. He's like, fuck.
They're not gonna hurt you, okay, Rosemary? Don't worry.
I was so worried because I was worried.
We're just gonna take you home. And then they take her back to the castle apartment. And once she's in there, she's trapped. I mean, she tries to do this kind of like escape attempt thing where she barricades herself in the apartment.
In the house.
But very quickly, she's literally swarmed by old people.
Because they had that door.
Yeah, they had the secret door.
Oh my God, so creepy. The way that she was like on the phone trying to like contact one of her friends, and then in the background you see like grown ass men just like tiptoeing. That was creepy.
It was really creepy.
Yeah, that was the only moment in the movie that I was just like, Oh,
Oh.
whoa.
Yeah, they're creepy.
Unsettling.
Yeah, and then they all just they just all get on top of her and drugs, more drugs, and she gets lit up. And then he's like, "I think we got a labor happening."
Oh my god, the way he was squeezing the belly. It's like he like fucking was
Pushing
trying
it.
to push the baby
Yeah.
out.
We got some labor
Ugh.
going on.
Yikes.
And then she's out of it. Wake back up. Baby's dead. Well, there was complications. And the baby's dead. It won't affect pregnancies in the future. Yeah, smoking. It won't affect pregnancies in the future, but it's dead. Deal with it. And she's obviously...
She's like, you're lying!
Yeah,
You guys are lying!
You're no witches!
You're witches! And more drugs.
And drugs.
Drugs.
Because the next time we see her, she's like slumped over her breakfast. You have that fucking guy in the background being like, now we'll have... He's talking about like the fantasies. Like we're going to have a big house. We're going to have those 3 kids. We're going to have the perfect life. Because he knows that the baby's still alive. And he thinks that they're going to use it to now be... He was probably promised all the things.
Mm-hmm.
All those things. She's going to be able to have kids now. She's going to be able to have a big house, and they're going to have riches and all this kind of stuff. And so he's like, okay, it'll be okay. We're gonna get what the devil promised us.
Yeah, he was like excited.
Yeah.
Because during the pregnancy, I think he was very afraid. Oh, because there was a moment where she felt it kicked. And she was like, oh my God, it's alive here. And then he like pulls away from her and she's like, he's not going to bite.
Yeah.
It's not going to bite.
Yeah. And I mean, through this whole movie, he's been so uninvolved, just in general. So he's always known this is not his baby. So he has no attachment to this child and probably does not want to be involved in the raising of a devil child.
Yeah,
he's so
absolutely
removed of
not.
it. Yeah,
No.
He's just like, let's just get this pregnancy done so we can get our payment. But she's still in the investigation mode, and she decides to look around more, and she finds the hidden door in the closet that she made sick ass shelves for. Look. Oh, okay. Cool.
Good job.
Big day. And she goes to the door, and we see that burning building / furnace thing that we saw in her dream, and we're realizing, wait a second, how much of that was actually a dream? What the
Well, like, also, I think it's just like she maybe perhaps didn't get sent all the way to hell.
No.
She just went.
I mean, she was loopy from the drugs that she did take, but she was aware enough where details of what was actually happening were coming through.
Right. I'm just thinking that, like, they were all just kind of metaphors of her just going next door. Hell was literally right next door.
Right there. A very tiny partition separated her from hell. Very small. Boop. She's been in hell the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time. That elevator goes all the way to hell.
All the way to
So, like, Satan had to, like, ascend reading a book, probably. Fuck. Probably takes 30
Devil in the White
minutes.
City.
Yeah.
It's good. And she's sneaking in there, and it's a old people party. A little Satan meeting going on here, and black crib.
Everybody you've been seeing throughout the movie.
Yep. You get fucking Minnie and Roman are there, Guy's there, you got the doctors there, some guy with a camera, I don't know who that was.
I don't know who it was. He was
Hail
just taking,
Satan!
Yep. Just taking photography.
Yeah. Fucking Larry is in there.
Fucking Larry, she was like, and the baby's like, wah, wah, and she's like, you're rocking him too hard. And she's like, get the fuck out of here.
Back off. And she's, Rosemary sees the baby for the first time. And she's horrified. She's, What have you done to his eyes?
But also that crib, though.
Yeah, oh man.
That baby has a nice crib.
Beautiful black crib, upside down crucifix hanging above him. The devil's baby
Just, like,
couldn't be in a better
drapes.
spot.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
No, he's living luxurious. And he must have been a big-ass fucking baby because that crib was big.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you knew Satan baby's got to be...
Rip. He already has a six-pack.
Oh. Hey, Mom. What's up, Rosemary, Mom?
So, he's already like 3 years old.
He's doing push-ups in there.
And she's like, oh my God. It's not because he looked ugly. It's because like she's like, he's doing push-ups.
Do you see how many reps he's doing?
103, 104.
What have you done to his eyes? He has his father's eyes.
She's like, no, he doesn't.
Guy's eyes aren't like that.
Yeah, Guy is like just in the back again, just cowering and being pathetic and just being like,
Hail Adrian, hail Satan, the year is won.
the year's won.
Oh!
And all the ladies are like, you're so lucky he chose you out of all the women. I was just like, yeah.
You should feel lucky.
You should feel lucky he chose you.
Yeah. And she's shocked. She's like, falls back into a chair and just like, what the fuck is going on?
Mm-hmm. And then fucking Guy comes over.
Oh, God.
And he was like, hey, I did it because I want to be famous. But they promised me that you were going to be fine.
I made them promise not to hurt you. And you were not hurt for the most part.
For the most part.
Yeah.
You know, like, what did he say? Something along the lines of like, essentially, this is better than you having to go through a pregnancy and have lost it.
Yeah. Isn't this better than that?
Yikes.
And rightfully so, spits on him.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck you, Guy.
I wanted to see some punches on that asshole.
Yeah. I mean, I think that after this movie, Guy is kind of brushed away.
Yeah.
Because what happens... The end of this movie is kind of interesting because all Rosemary has wanted this entire movie is to have a kid. All she wanted to do is be a mother. And so Roman comes up to her and is like, you don't have to join the cult. You don't even have to believe in what we believe in. Just be a mother to him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all that she really wants. And so... when she sees fucking Larry rocking the cradle really hard, that motherly instinct, no matter what her child looks like, is kicking in. And she's like, no.
That's not how you're supposed to do it.
You're rocking him too hard. And she takes on rocking him and looks down at her devil child, and she looks like she's looking at him lovingly.
Pleasant.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm.
It's her baby. No matter what, it's her child.
Yeah.
And she can't help but feel that motherly instinct towards him.
She wants to be with him. She needs to take care of him.
Mm-hmm. And as the mother of Satan, I can imagine that you have some sort of power.
What do you think her powers are going to be?
I mean, she's the devil's mother. Like, even the devil's... even Satan is going to, treat his mother... Like, she's the queen of hell now, essentially. What I would think. She has a lot of power now within this cult to call the shots, because she's the mother of this thing. She's going to be the one raising it. And ultimately in control of how this child turns out. Mm-hmm. And so, to me, that last moment is her taking... her role as a mother and also taking control now. She is going to be in charge of what happens to this kid. And she's going to be in charge of what happens to her too. And that's why I think Guy is very much going to go off to the wayside, and she's going to be the power,
well, he doesn't really fucking care anymore because he has his place and stuff. Yep. Damn.
And that last look, she's just like, all right, I am mother now.
Yep.
I am mother. Let's do this.
Mother. And
then, la 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 la. back out and we see the gothic fucking castle one last time.
That birthed another demon child.
All right. Rosemary's Baby, 1968. Shall we get to some smashed pumpkins?
Absolutely!
Smashed pumpkins. All right. Would you like to begin or do you want me to start?
Ooh, you can start.
Oh, okay. Let's see. This movie, seen it a good amount of times. And I really like this movie. I think that one thing this movie does well, I mean, it's an over 2.5 hour movie, but I never felt bored, really.
No.
And there isn't much action going on. But there is a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
So I never felt like things were dragging. The story was progressing a lot, and I was engaged the whole time. Mm-hmm. And even when they were editing the two scenes, things went fast. We were getting a lot of information thrown at us very quickly. So even when I was writing my notes, I was like, I'm having a hard time keeping up.
No, same. I didn't want... There's points where I didn't write anything. Mm-hmm. So. And
that seemed intentional because as a new couple and people who are trying to get pregnant and this new life, it would seem like a whirlwind. It would seem like, holy shit, all this stuff is happening so fast. We're meeting new people. They're bringing us into this like weird thing. So it seemed intentional. And I really did love the colors. I loved the costumes. It was a very pretty movie, very well shot, and Mia Farrow was amazing. She's
fantastic.
She was an amazing Rosemary.
Holy shit, she was so good.
She was so good, and
she didn't look terrible with that haircut. It was just the fact that she was dying.
Yeah, I just think she looked terrible at all. She looked good. Get it, Rosemary. I think that. I'm trying to think of main complaints of the movie. I think the main complaint would just be some of the other actors, but I didn't think that they needed to be strong to carry this movie. So I'd maybe just rate it a little bit lower because of them. But if they were better actors, I don't know if it would have changed it.
Yeah.
So I'm struggling with it. I think I'm going to give this movie I think I gotta give it a 4.8.
Ooh! Yeah. That's amazing. I'm gonna go along and say 4.6.
4.6.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun watching this movie. I liked the script overall. For it being so informative and fast-paced, it wasn't fast-paced in the sense that, today's movies tend to just...
There wasn't a lot of action.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of...
But the story was moving
Yeah, it was progressing, like you mentioned. So, I enjoyed that aspect. We had a lot of scenes with her, which she's amazing. She's a great actress. Love the fashion of it. I thought it was cute. The only thing that I have to say, and I can understand why the baby was never shown to us, because I think our imagination is a lot more powerful. But at the same time, I kind of did want to see some kind of fucked up looking baby.
Me too.
With feathers or...
I want to see the hooves.
The hooves.
Fucking red skin.
The horns or something.
Yeah.
I don't know,
really
something.
Looking thing.
But then again, we never truly got to see the devil anyway.
True.
We just saw the eyes and the hands.
And that's enough.
Man, that would have been great to see. Some kind of prosthetic.
Yeah, that would have been really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if they had one. Because sometimes movies, they do make... a baby, and there might have been a shot, but at the edit he could have just been you know what?
We don't need it.
We don't need that shot.
Maybe, perhaps.
Okay? And let's get another fun part about the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Where we pick another one.
Who's doing it this time? Is it?
I'll go for it.
I mean,
okay. I'm just gonna do it. I'll do it.
I think it's me, but whatever.
But here we go. I went straight to the bottom. All right, here we go. Got one.
All right. Logline first?
Logline. Yes.
Okay.
At a top secret research facility in the 1960s, a lonely janitor forms unique relationship with an amphibious creature that is being held in captivity.
Alien.
Directed by Guillermo del Toro. We're watching The Shape of Water.
Oh, not that it was made in the 1960s.
Nope. It just takes place in the 1960s.
That was my
so
first
good.
date with Adam.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Shape
cute.
of Water.
Love Shape of Water.
I didn't know it was horror.
Horror. I mean, it's a monster movie.
I mean, it is a monster
He's
movie.
a monster. Though he's a very tender monster.
I don't know. I don't like it.
You don't like him?
No.
Oh, well, I think he's hot.
Thank you for joining us. My name is Leslie. You can find me on Instagram at ColorMeLeslie.
And me at Beep Beep Richie T, and also the Deadlights Pod.
Mm-hmm.
Also check out Playground Social, which is the studio that we are recording this at.
We are here right now.
Right here, right now. But until next time,
Let's get spooky,
y'all.
Ooh.
Fuck you, guy.